rise for the flag, and Legislator Litz, could you please lead us in the pledge? Remain standing for a moment of silence. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic
which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
As you're probably aware, this will be our last Zoom meeting. We'll be going back in person next month. I was considering this month, but I thought it would be easier just to do the Zoom and start anew next month. And hopefully all will continue to get better and better and better. And we can start hugging each other like we used to. Oh, no, we didn't do that, did we? Okay. But anyway, the meeting's called to order, and the pledge was done. So, Madam Clerk, roll call.
Archer.
Here.
Bartels.
Here.
Bruno.
Here.
Cahill.
Here, sorry.
Corcoran.
Here.
Griswell.
Here.
DeLon.
Here.
Donaldson.
Here.
Fabiano.
Here.
Guveris.
Present.
Green.
Here.
Haynes.
Here.
Hepner.
Here.
Litz.
Here.
Lopez.
Here.
Mayo.
Here.
Parody.
Here.
Petit.
Here.
Roberts.
Here.
Ronk. Uchatel.
Here.
Walter.
Here.
And Worrow.
Here.
22 present and 1 absent. Tonight, we start with our first public hearing, and that is on Ulster County Community Development Block Grant Funds, CDBG, administered by the New York State Office of Community Renewal, Ulster County Housing Rehabilitation Program, and Ulster County Homeownership Program.
And public comment.
There are no speakers signed up.
Dennis Doyle's not here. Normally he comes and says something, doesn't he?
Sometimes. He didn't
Okay.
come tonight.
Well, then I'll entertain a motion to adjourn the public hearing.
I'll make a motion.
Moved.
Second.
That would be KL and Litz. Seconded. Sorry, Herb. Brian beat you to it. I need to call the second public hearing to order. Okay, the application for the U.S. Department of Housing Community Development Block Grant, the CBTB CARES Act funding administered by the New York State Office of Community Renewal.
And there are no speakers signed up.
Mr. Chairman, having no speakers, I will make a motion for adjournment of the public hearing.
Okay, motion for adjournment by Litz, seconded by Bruno. All those in favor?
Aye.
Adjourn.
You go play.
All right, tonight's birthdays, we have legislator Abe Uchatel, May 6th. Happy birthday, Abe. Legislator Heidi Ames, May 23rd. Happy birthday, Heidi. And legislator Manna Joe Green, May 26th. And happy birthday to the threes. I'd entertain a motion to dispense with the readings of the minutes of the previous meeting.
Second.
I'll second it.
So moved. What was that, Ebner?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and seconded by Litz, was it? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, carried. There are various communications on file as well as committee reports. All righty. Now we go into public comment on the meeting.
Again, the phone lines are wide open, but we have no callers calling in to speak.
All righty. Any callers out there? No one listening either? Madam Clerk?
There's several people watching our live stream, but nobody signed up to speak.
Is anybody that is watching the live stream wish to speak? Well, I entertain a motion to close the public comment. Let's
I'll move it. Second it.
and Fabiano. All those in favor? You really don't have to be in favor of that.
Aye.
It's called by me, actually.
Aye.
Alrighty, we'll start resolutions with the second reading and the vote on the rescinding of the rules of order of the Ulster County Legislature. Adopted.
David Donaldson, I believe Legislator Archer has her hand raised.
Oh, yes, so I'm sorry, Legislator Archer.
Thank you, Chairman. I'd like to make a motion to reconsider resolution number 95, adopting proposed local law number 13 as amended.
Is that for the, is that the veto override?
Yes, sir.
I believe Legislator Walter also has her hand raised.
All right, Legislator Walter.
I'd like to second it and request a long roll.
Okay. Do you want no debate at the beginning? Okay, then long roll, we'll start it. Unless somebody objects.
Archer.
Long roll.
Okay, the proposed local law number 13 of 2020 was adopted by this body on March 16th with a 20-3 vote. This law, if it's enacted, is intended to clarify existing language of the charter, which already compels departments, agencies, and units to produce departmental estimates to the legislature. And we're specifically with this, we're specifying when they should be submitted, which is on August 31st. And as you all may recall, that was a compromise. Originally, the legislation read July 31st, but in the spirit of working together, we changed it to August 31st. This law does not transfer or curtail the executive's authority over the budget, but really seeks to improve the legislature's ability to undertake meaningful fiscal oversight. And, we're here to appropriate and set policy, and that's exactly what this law is intended to help us do. So I'm a yes, and thank you.
Bartels.
Thank you. I agree with all that Legislator Archer said and want to add that passage of this law would greatly facilitate the legislature and our legislative financial team in fulfilling its fiscal duties. So I will be a strong supporter of this.
Bruno.
Yes.
Cahill.
Yes.
Corcoran.
No.
Criswell.
Yes.
DeLon.
Yes.
Donaldson.
Yes, passing of this law is going to give us no added information. And if anybody thinks it is going to give you added information, you're fooling yourself. I've lived and taught government for more than half of my life. My master's is dealing with government. And I understand the dynamics of the legislative branch versus the executive branch probably better than anyone on this call. And I find this a fruitless exercise. If we override, we will still not get the information because it will become a matter of semantics. What is a department estimate? What is when does an estimate or when does a wish list become an estimate? Prior to the executive, prior to us having an executive, we had the legislative, basically was legislative branch was also the, what? I'm sorry. Did somebody, anyway, prior to having an executive, it was a committee system dealing with the each department, and the departments came and they gave us their estimates, and we whittled them down and went back and forth. That was part of the negotiations and part of how we did the budgeting. Once we hired an executive, it became a different way of doing it. And I understand, I would like to have that information, but you're not going to get it. So it's really an exercise that is not going to give us any fruit. And I find it as, I don't know how to put it, but I just see it as maybe poking somebody in the eye, because you're not going to get anything. Because in the end, it's very simple. They'll just point out, whatever you had last year, that'll be your estimate this year. And you're not going to get added information. Now, I would like it, but we're not going to get it. It's in the charter, but you're not going to get it. You can go to court, you're not going to get it because it's semantics, and it's just not going to happen. So I'm not going to be part of that. So I'm going to be a no.
Fabiano,
Yes.
Gaveris,
Yes.
Green,
Yes.
Haynes,
I'm not into semantics, so I'll be voting in the negative as well.
Hepner,
Yes.
Litz,
Dave, you had such a compelling argument. I'm going to have to vote no.
Lopez,
No.
Mayo,
No.
Parity,
I'm going to pass because it sounds to me like an exercise in futility. I mean, being realistic, I haven't heard any consequences if you don't get the results for what you're looking for. So I'm going to pass for the time being.
Petite,
I believe in transparency in government, and certainly this resolution is not for extreme oversight over the county executive. It is to offer us all an opportunity to ask questions and be able to review the budgets before they get formalized and voted on. So I am a yes on this.
Roberts,
No.
Uchitel,
Yeah, I don't think that the spirit of the charter is up for debate. I don't think that the spirit of the first, our first passage of this law is up for debate. I haven't heard anyone questioning what we're trying to achieve here. The anticipation of resistance by our partners in another branch of government, I don't think is a reason to stop at the threshold of this. Of moving forward with this and to turn back because we anticipate that resistance. So I'm going to be voting yes for this. I find it surprising. I just have a hard time understanding why we would include it in the charter, not to bring it forward, why we would include it, we would vote on it the first time, and then, to not support it now. It just doesn't make sense to me. If you have to pursue your remedy in the legislative process, that's exactly what we're doing here. So I'm going to be a yes.
Walter.
So last time, this was my first time going through the budget as a new legislator. And I think it's fortunate that a lot of the department heads in law enforcement, public safety are elected officials. So they felt comfortable telling me that there were several items that they put forward to the executive that we never got to see. And then I had some private conversations with other non-elected heads of programs who had also said that there were things that they put forward that we never got to see, and that they were even told not to let us know. And I feel to do the best we can for our department heads, for our programs, for our county, is to really understand what the people who are leading these departments are saying they need. We may not support it, we may support it, but these are the people that we're trusting to know what is needed to run their show, and any opportunity to hear that as early as possible. Whether we still don't get it, that's another story, but it's still worth it to me to really enforce the importance of knowing this information. So I'm a yes.
Waro.
Choose a sausage and pepper.
Legislator Waro, I just want to confirm that was yes that I heard?
Yes.
And parity.
You know, it seems to me we have enough time to do this during the budget. I said it seems like an exercise in futility, and I'm going to vote no.
The motion is defeated by a vote of 14-8.
All righty, Madam Clerk, move on to the agenda.
On to consent.
Chairman Donaldson, I believe that we can move resolution 243 from non-consent to consent.
All righty, and that's okay with you, Legislator Haynes?
Oh, yeah, no. We second that.
All righty, and don't we start with the second reading and the vote?
It's a consent vote.
Okay. Well, you do have to do the second reading, so you have to read it.
Resolution 190, rescinding the rules of order of the Ulster County Legislature adopted on January 8th, 2020, and establishing new rules of order of the Ulster County Legislature.
Don't you have to read all the rules?
No.
Only kidding. All right, the consent, on the consent agenda.
On the consent agenda, we are a short yes with the following abstentions. Resolution 221 and 222, Legislator Ushatel, and Resolution 236, Legislator Gaveras.
The Republican caucus is the short.
Reasons of employment.
Can you, what is the reasoning for those?
Employment.
The Republican caucus is short, yes.
Chairman.
Legislator Haynes, I think you had abstentions to read.
With,
Yes, yep, yeah. Craig, do you have them?
I don't. Ken, yeah, Ken.
No problem. So this was what Ken
didn't
had
get the-
passed
I know
off.
that you have the list right
Yep,
there.
no problem. So we were a short yes with the following abstentions: 206, 208, 209. Legislator Litz abstaining due to employment.
The resolutions are adopted 22-0, with the exception of resolutions 206, 208, and 209, which are adopted 21-0 with one abstention, Legislator Litz. Resolutions 221 and 222 are adopted 21-0 with one abstention, Legislator Ushatel. And resolution 236 is adopted by a vote of 21-0 with one abstention, Legislator Gaveras.
Thank you. Now for the non-consent.
The first resolution in non-consent tonight is Resolution 198, authorizing the chair of the Ulster County Legislature to execute an agreement with Ulster County Board of Cooperative Educational Services to provide a deputy sheriff as school resource officer, Ulster County Sheriff.
Are we considering a block of the three?
No, but I believe there'll be folks that would like to speak on this first resolution.
All right, on the resolution, Legislator Bartels.
Thank you. I'm going to be a no on this resolution and the next two, all the school resource officer resolutions. I've been a no in years past, and my reasons for my no remain consistent in terms of my discomfort with the idea of armed officers in school. I want to read briefly from the state attorney general issued a report in March of this year, which I think is really relevant. And it was to the Kingston was regarding Kingston, New York police reforms that had been proposed pursuant to the Executive Order number 203. And among this lengthy report, she speaks to SROs, and I quote, "We strongly urge you to consider removing all SROs from schools. The presence of SROs often perpetuates the same policing inequities that are reflected outside schools and does not yield a benefit in increased student safety that justifies their continued presence. Accordingly, jurisdictions across the country have mounted efforts to reduce or eliminate police presence in schools." And it is for that reason so succinctly stated by our Attorney General, and so recently stated, that I am a no on this and the next two resolutions.
Legislator Litch.
Yes. I am going to be a yes. And I've had very good experience with young people and SROs, especially in our own school district. The first time you do not want the first time there's an interaction with a young person either being stopped along the highway for a ticket or a domestic issue. I would much rather have them get acquainted with our police department via the school, where there's interaction that is positive, a positive interaction between the police and the students. And I've seen and I've heard from young people that, and maybe it's just our SROs that are excellent, which I don't believe that to be true, that they are able to have a pleasant experience with the police department. So going in the future, when they are stopped speeding or for whatever reason, or an officer shows up for some reason, they are calm, and they relate to them as human beings, not some force with a gun. I'm a yes.
Senator Griswold.
I just wanted to say that I interviewed some students from Kingston High School, and I'm afraid I heard just the opposite, that they just didn't feel comfortable with an armed officer in their school. And I think that the money would be better spent on mental health resources and on social services resources. So I'm going to be a no on this.
Senator Walter.
Thanks. So I'm going to be a no on this and the other two. I've heard several different, I hear the argument coming from the sheriff and coming from even parents at the schools that we need these to keep our kids safer. There's no evidence that having an SRO will reduce the already very small likelihood that there'll be a shooter. And there's definitely no evidence that having an SRO will reduce the likelihood of being harmed if there was one. And when the SROs came into place, this was the same time we started doing many things in our schools in terms of adding, in some schools, metal detectors. I know in my own kids' school, which is one of the ones that is on this list, and I've had kids there for almost 2 decades, they were not allowed to wear backpacks because of the risk that they may be carrying something. The kids were treated like they were all potential criminals. And so this feeds into that entire model that I think we need to really change so that our kids do feel positive about themselves and positive about law enforcement, rather than feeling like they're perceived, some of them, again, depending on the color of their skin, typically, and their gender, that they're potential criminals. I will say that no parent demands this in all the board meetings I've gone to because they want their kids to have a more positive experience with law enforcement. That's not what they're asking for. That said, I would 100% support any program that involves law enforcement with our youth. We have teen centers, we have after schools, we have Boys and Girls Club with YMCA. Having law enforcement engage with youth in proactive behavior so that they can get to know them, it would be fabulous, and I would back that in a second. But I think we need to accept that, one, they are not keeping our kids safe from shooters, and two, this is not building bonds with all of these kids, and this is not what the parents are asking for in the first place. So I'll be a no for all of them.
Anyone else? Legislator Worrell.
Hi, I would like to speak up for our SRO officer. He develops a very good relationship with the kids. He's taking kids under his wings. We had a situation where there was actually going to be a threat in our school, and it was prevented because of him being in the school. And if you talk to any of his students or parents, he's well loved, and he's really done what we would want an SRO to do, is develop relationships, positive relationships. He's even funded things for kids that couldn't afford different things like prom and other things. So in Saugerties, we have an awesome SRO officer. Thank you.
Greg has his
Senator
hand.
Corcoran.
Yep. Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm going to echo the sentiments of Legislator Litz. This vote isn't just about security for me. It's about building relationships and providing an opportunity for a young person to have a positive experience with a police officer. With all the discussions of police reform and the importance of community policing, SROs play a huge role in making this happen. And for me, personally, as a father, I can't think of a better opportunity for my sons to interact with law enforcement on a personal level. Yeah, I just don't see it happening any better than with an SRO in a positive setting, and that positive setting being a school. Look, I get the politics behind the no votes. I just think it's unfortunate because if folks are serious about a real reform, this policy, in my opinion, should be unanimous. So, with that said, I'm going to be a yes.
Legislator Corcoran.
Like Legislator Litz and Legislator Worrell, I personally know my SRO, and I've known 3 of them over the 25 years that I've worked at the school district in Marlborough. And they have been essential and benefited our children with a positive influence in every way. So again, is it just our 3 SROs or is it something different that I'm not seeing? But every single one I've interacted in 25 years at my school district have been nothing but positive and beneficial to our children. I will be a yes 100%.
Legislator, you should tell.
Yeah, I'm going to be a no tonight on these 3 resolutions, and I just want to share that I really struggle with the justification for it being that these particular officers, which I don't doubt that these are great officers, but that this should be that's why we should have these SROs. That if it implies that if there were different officers, we wouldn't be comfortable with them in the schools. And to that I say, if you have concerns about the other officers, obviously we need to be working on that. The notion that we would cherry pick the best officers and take them out of the community and put them into our elementary schools just doesn't sit right with me. I believe that there are great officers, and I want them to be in the community working with folks. I don't think that their best role is going to be in an elementary school or middle or high school. So I'm going to be a no tonight on these 3 resolutions.
Legislator Bruno.
Yeah, I have to echo Legislator Lopez and Legislator Litz. My experience throughout the school district is in Saugerties, we have probably the best SROs that I can imagine. Besides doing the DARE programs, these are the first interactions that young children have with the police officers. And there's no better place to do it than in the schools where they can learn. I think the whole idea of the fact that, oh, they carry guns in school and are not safe, I think that's a misnomer, and I think it's a political argument that means nothing. The reality of it is this is where in the elementary schools and the junior highs, where kids are learning, and they're learning that cops aren't the bad guys. Cops are the good guys. And I think that this is the place to do it. I haven't heard of any negative interactions between any SRO, between Kingston and Saugerties and Roundout and Onteora. They've all been good, all been positive. And the argument of it disproportionately targets people of color, I believe, is kind of it's misgiving. And I'm going to be a solid yes on all of these, because I think these cops instill a sense of pride, a sense of accountability, and a sense of responsibility to our kids at an early age that some of these children may not get at home. That the only learning experience they get on right and wrong and laws and rules and what they should be expected to do in public are from these officers. And I'm going to be a solid yes on this because I think it's a necessary addition to our teaching staff, not necessarily a negative thing. I think it's an addition to the teaching staff, not only at home, but also in our school systems. I'm a solid yes on this.
Anyone else? Legislator Parody.
Yeah, if I might, thank you, Mr. Chairman. You know, as it turns out, my life sort of transcends two districts, Onteora and Rondout. And the folks, I talked to the folks in both of them. And the opportunity to have an SRO in the district sort of amplifies the importance of the diversity within the educational process. All is not bad. All is not good. I have a problem substituting, since I'm not a member of the school board, and the members of these school boards are not forced to have SROs. The county doesn't make them do it. They feel it's in the best interest of their students. And I certainly would have a hard time even listening to some of the most eloquent arguments to go against their wishes, which I do believe is they feel is in the best interest of their district. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Anyone else? Legislator Petit?
Thank you. I'd like to say that we're fortunate enough here in Esopus. We have the BOCES building to also have a wonderful SRO. And, you know, although I agree you don't want to bring someone in the form of intimidation, certainly want to have someone there for safety and security who can reach out and, you know, talk to these kids directly, and they feel comfortable reaching out to somebody in authority. And I totally agree with what Legislator Parody just said. The school districts themselves are reaching out. So if they can utilize and are asking for this service, I think it's a good idea for us to be able to provide it.
Anyone else? If you don't mind, I'd like to say my piece. I mean, I do have some questions with SROs. I mean, I question the idea that they have to have a gun on their hip. That can be troublesome for me. I just don't think it's necessary in a school district, maybe a concealed one. But and then, you know, I know there are some reservations, particularly in Kingston, the city's Kingston School District. Or, you know, there are some parents that have some reservations about it. But I'm not voting on the city of Kingston's, and I'm not on the school board, nor do I want to be on it. These school districts, school boards, superintendents vetted this issue. And they have overwhelming support by the parents of the communities. They have the school boards are charged to do what is best for the students and their education. They have also had overwhelming support by the town board and the school districts in question. I have to have faith in the school boards that they did their research. And this is their request. This isn't mine. And it's not my school board that I'm looking at. In fact, a school that my daughter teaches is at Kingston High School. And so I have to default to these school boards because this is what they want. And I mean, I can understand some of the arguments against it, but I also have seen firsthand the positive aspects of how they work. I taught in Hyde Park quite some time. And, and to answer some questions on how they, are chosen, I mean, they need to be chosen, of course, with their temperaments and things of that nature. You want somebody that's also wants to be working with kids, and that's, hopefully that's how they vet them. They want somebody that's somewhat of a problem solver that can, get kids to sit down and work together without force. They should not be part of the discipline part. So I will support this because this is what these school districts want. And I don't think I should be overriding the school district. Oh, I guess we'll call for the vote.
On the resolution, we are a short yes with the following no's. Legislators.
Wait, Legislator Corcoran has had his hand raised before you go.
Oh, I'm sorry, Legislator Corcoran.
I'd like to call for a long roll, please.
Okay.
Unknown caller.
Archer,
Yes.
Bartels,
No.
Bruno, Legislator Bruno, you're muted.
Story of my life.
Yes. Sorry about that.
Cahill,
Yes.
Corcoran,
Yes.
Criswell,
I'll be a no on this.
DeLon,
Yes.
Donaldson,
Yes.
Fabiano,
Yes.
Goveris,
Yes.
Green,
Yes.
Haynes,
Yes.
Hepner,
Yes.
Litz,
Yes.
Lopez,
Yes.
Mayo,
Yes.
Parity,
Yes.
Petit,
Yes.
Roberts,
Yes.
Uchitel,
No.
Walter,
No.
and Worrell.
Yes.
The resolution is adopted 18-4. Resolution 199, authorizing the chair of the Ulster County Legislature to execute an agreement with the Onteora School District to provide a deputy sheriff as school resource officer, Ulster County Sheriff.
Do we need to go through that again, or are we going to call for the vote? All right, I'll call for the vote. Nobody's hands up.
Legislator Corcoran has his hand up.
Legislator Corcoran,
Call for a long roll, please.
thank you.
Come on.
Archer,
Yes.
Bartels,
No.
Bruno,
Proudly, yes.
Cahill,
Yes.
Corcoran,
Yes.
Criswell,
No.
DeLon,
Yes.
Donaldson,
Yes.
Fabiano,
Yes.
Goveris,
Yes.
Green,
Yes.
Haynes,
Yes.
Hepner,
Yes.
Blitz,
Yes.
Lopez,
Yes.
Mayo,
Yes.
Parity,
Yes.
Petite,
Yes.
Roberts,
Yes.
Uchatel,
No.
Walter,
No.
and Worrell.
Yes.
The resolution is adopted 18-4. Resolution 200, authorizing the chair of the Ulster County Legislature to execute an agreement with the Rondout Valley Central School District to provide a deputy sheriff as school resource officer, Ulster County Sheriff.
All righty. Long roll.
Long roll.
I just called it beach.
Archer,
Yes.
Bartels,
No.
Bruno,
Yes.
Cahill,
Yes.
Welcome back, Ben.
Corcoran,
Yes.
Criswell,
No.
DeLon,
Yes.
Donaldson,
Yes.
Fabiano,
Yes.
Gaveras,
Yes.
Green,
Yes.
Haynes,
Yes.
Hepner,
Yes.
Litz,
Yes.
Lopez,
Yes.
Mayo,
Yes.
Parity,
Yes.
Petite,
Yes.
Roberts,
Yes.
Ronk,
Yes.
Uchatel,
No.
Walter,
As a 2-decade mother at the Rondout Valley Central School, I'm a proud no.
and Worrell.
Yes.
The resolution is adopted 19-4. The next resolution is 202, authorizing the chair of the Ulster County Legislature to enter into an agreement with the Department of Justice for asset forfeiture, Ulster County Sheriff.
On the issue.
On the issue, we are a short yes with 1 no. Legislator Bartels.
On the resolution, we're a short yes.
The resolution is adopted 22-1. Resolution 204, amending the 2021 Ulster County budget to adjust the annual salary of the Assistant Warden, Ulster County Sheriff.
On the issue, Legislator Cahill.
Thank you very much. I just want to explain my no vote on this one. It's very simply, we're eliminating 2 part-time corrections officer positions to fund this $20,000 increase for the deputy warden. And at the same time, our corrections officers are being asked to work double shifts and overtime without the ability to say no by contract. And the idea that we're going to be funding this promotional salary increase for a position by eliminating part-time positions where we have shortages that are requiring the sheriff to have corrections officers work double time and overtime and not be able to go home is something that I can't deal with. I have to vote no on this. Sorry.
Legislator Ronk.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You know, I
Welcome back, Legislator Ronk.
thank you very much. You know, brush
Fire's out.
fire in between 2 houses. We're all safe. So,
Superhero Ronk, we'll call you. Go ahead.
so I totally respect Legislator Cahill's position on this. I don't agree with the no vote, and the reason that I don't agree with the no vote for the reasons that he stated is that, you know, we're not having staffing issues at the law enforcement center at the jail portion, corrections division, because of a lack of positions. If these positions were positions that were needed to be filled in order to eliminate the staffing problems at the jail, I'd be right there with Legislator Cahill and voting no on where the money's coming from. But there are a number of corrections officers positions that the sheriff, I spoke to him, you know, myself, he just cannot fill, that are open, that aren't attached to this resolution. So I respect where you're coming from, Legislator Cahill. I just, you know, you have to solve compression issues before they become a real problem. And when you've got lieutenants who are making more than the warden, it's a problem, you know, because you're never going to find somebody who's going to want to take the promotional exam, you know, or become the warden, because they're just legitimately not going to make as much as they are as a lieutenant. You know, I don't disagree. And if we find the trove of people that we need to hire at the jail in order to solve the staffing issues there, then, you know, I'm totally on board.
I will put a resolution in, co-sponsor it with you to put these positions right back. And I can tell you that, you know, our caucus shares your concerns so much so that we just sent a letter to the county executive this week to ask him very politely to enter legitimate conversations and negotiations with the sheriff's department, corrections division union in order to settle their contract and pay those folks, you know, what they deserve. So thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Legislator before. No one else, Legislator Cahill?
Thank you. So yeah, I agree with you, Minority Leader Ronk. The problem that I have is that these are issues that should be dealt with at budget time, not in the middle of a budget. And if there are compression issues, they should be dealt with when the sheriff is presenting his budget to the legislature overall. These end up being, despite people disagreeing with what I'm about to say, these end up being based on individuals and not on positions. And if this position is worth the $20,000 or roughly whatever the increase is, then put it in the budget, let the entire legislature vote on that position at that budget range, and then we'll have at it. And like you said, there are compression issues all throughout the county, and I'm ready to deal with those. I think it's time that we do deal with them because they were around the last time I was around in 2000 and whatever it was, 6, right? Those same issues are still here. It's time for us to take a stand on those things and make some decisions, and they're not going to be easy decisions, and it's going to cost the county money. But if we're losing, the reason we can't get corrections officers is because they're getting paid better in different counties neighboring us. That is probably even a closer drive from where they live, right, to the Ulster County Jail. That's a problem, and we have to fix it. And for me, this is the first step in that direction, and it will solve the problem of short staffing in the corrections department. And I too have requested that on many, many occasions that the executive and the executive branch enter into negotiation, not just with the corrections officers, but with all 5 of our collective bargaining units that are all working under expired contracts right now. Thank you.
Legislator Bruno?
Yeah, I'd like to echo, actually, this is kind of ironic, but I'd like to echo not only Legislator Ronk, but Legislator Cahill. We're all on the same team. We all agree with what we're going at here. However, listen, there's nobody who supports the police department and the sheriff's department more than I do. And I can assure you of that. However, these are 2 different issues. The contract negotiations are between the executive and their union. This promotion, this increase is not part of that. And I am supportive of this. I'm supportive of everything that will make the sheriff's department and the corrections officers in a better place. Yes, we have a lot of work to do there. But I think most of the work that needs to be done there is between the union bosses and the executive's office. Our job of oversight is to either approve or disapprove of whatever contract negotiations they come up with, and this is not part of it. So I'm going to be a yes on this because I think we have to start somewhere and we have to give the funds that are needed to that department as a whole, and I'm all for it, honestly. And I also think that we definitely need to enter into negotiations between the executive office and the union leadership. They're 2 different issues. I don't want to muddy them. And I'm a yes on this, and I will be a yes on anything that we move forward to getting a contract, a CBA with the union as well.
Fabiano?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have to say I'm in total agreement with Legislator Cahill. Once again, I find that we're in a situation where we're picking and choosing. I feel that our correction officers are totally underpaid. I didn't realize until here only a week or so ago that the corrections officers in Dutchess County, from what I understand, are making $6 an hour more per hour than our correction officers here in Ulster County. So with that said, I mean, you know, we got to just level the playing field here, play fair with everybody, and I am going to be a no on this resolution.
Alrighty, we have had conversations, just so everybody knows, we've had conversations with the county executive, and and his team, that these things are important. These settlements of these contracts have to be done, and they need to be done quickly. So anyway, we'll call for the vote.
On the resolution, we are a short yes with 1 no. Legislator Cahill.
Unless anybody's changed, we were a short yes with 1 no. Legislator Fabiano.
The resolution is adopted 21-2. The next 8 resolutions are bond resolutions. Number 207, authorizing the replacement of the fire alarm system and heating and cooling controls at the Ulster County Law Enforcement Center in and for the County of Ulster, New York, at a maximum estimated cost of $600,000, and authorizing the issuance of $600,000 bonds of said county to pay the costs thereof. Archer.
Yes.
Bartels.
Yes.
Bruno.
As much as I want to say no to this, from my experience in the heating and air conditioning business, and I know that dollar sign sounds like a lot, I'm going to be a yes, because we have to maintain the systems that we have. I don't want this to take any money away from the law enforcement officers at the same time, but I'm a yes.
Cahill.
Yes.
Corcoran.
Yes.
Criswell.
Yes.
DeLon.
Yes.
Donaldson.
Yes.
Fabiano.
Yes.
Gaveras.
Yes.
Green.
Yes.
Yes.
Haynes. Hepner.
Yes.
Litz.
Abstain.
Lopez.
Yes.
Mayo.
Yes.
Parity.
Yes.
Petite.
Yes.
Roberts.
Yes.
Ronk.
Yes.
Uchatel.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
And Worrow.
Yes.
The resolution is adopted 22-0 with 1 abstention. Legislator Litz. Resolution 211, authorizing the purchase of county fleet vehicles for the County of Ulster, New York, at a maximum estimated cost of $1,217,000, and authorizing the issuance of $1,217,000 bonds of said county to pay the cost thereof. Archer.
Yes.
Bartels.
Yes.
Bruno.
Yes.
Cahill.
Yes.
Corcoran.
Yes.
Criswell.
Yes.
DeLon.
Yes.
Donaldson.
Yes. Sorry, I had it muted.
Fabiano.
Yes.
Gaveras.
Yes.
Green.
Yes.
Haynes.
Yes.
Hepner.
Yes.
Litz.
Yes.
Lopez.
Yes.
Mayo.
Yes.
Parity.
Yes.
Petite.
Yes.
Roberts.
Yes.
Ronk.
Yes.
Uchatel.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
And Worrow.
Yes.
The resolution is adopted 23-0. Resolution 213, authorizing the issuance of an additional $2,757,911 bonds of said bonds of the County of Ulster, New York, to pay part of the cost of rehabilitation of the Shangump Kill Bridge in and for said county. Archer.
Yes.
Bartels.
Yes.
Bruno.
Yes.
Cahill.
Yes.
Corcoran.
Yes.
Criswell.
Yes.
DeLon.
Yes.
Donaldson.
Yes, I love this bridge.
Fabiano.
Yes.
Guevara.
Yes.
Green.
Yes.
Haynes.
Yes.
Hepner.
Yes.
Litz.
Yes.
Lopez.
Yes.
Mayo.
Yes.
Parity.
Yes.
Petite.
Yes.
Roberts.
Yes.
Ron.
Madam Clerk, Legislator Bartels and I share this bridge in our 2 districts, but I'm a little disappointed that you pronounced Shangum wrong. It's the Shangum Kill Bridge. There's no K sound, but with that having been said, I'll be a yes.
Did I really? Because I'm usually
really
very good
did.
at that. Don't take that personal.
I'll try.
Ushitel,
Yes.
Walter,
Yes.
and Worrell.
Yes.
The resolution is adopted 23-0. Resolution 217, authorizing the issuance of an additional $14,500 bonds of the County of Ulster, New York to pay part of the cost of the preliminary planning and design costs for improvements at the Ulster County Fairgrounds in and for said county. Archer,
Yes.
Bartels,
Yes.
Bruno,
Yes.
Cahill,
Yes.
Corcoran,
Yes.
Criswell,
Yes.
DeLon,
Yes.
Donaldson,
Yes.
Fabiano,
Yes.
Caveras,
Yes.
Green,
Yes.
Haynes,
Yes.
Hepner,
Yes.
Litz,
Yes.
Lopez,
Yes.
Mayo,
Yes.
Parity,
Yep.
Petit,
Yes.
Roberts,
Yes.
Ronk,
Yes.
Ushitel,
Yes.
Walter,
Yes.
and Worrell.
Yes.
The resolution is adopted 23-0. Resolution 219, authorizing the issuance of an additional $801,050 bonds of the County of Ulster, New York to pay part of the cost of HVAC improvements at various Ulster County Community College buildings in and for said county. Archer,
Yes.
Bartels,
Yes.
Bruno,
Again, almost $1 million for a heating and air conditioning system in 1 year is absurd. I think it needs to be looked at closer. However, I also know that maintenance needs to be done, and given the fact of the history, we have to say yes.
Cahill,
Yes.
Corcoran,
Yes.
Criswell,
Yes.
DeLon,
Yes.
Donaldson,
Yes.
Fabiano,
Yes.
Gaveras,
Yes.
Green,
Yes.
Haynes,
Yes.
Hepner,
Yes.
Litz,
Yes.
Lopez,
Yes.
Mayo,
Yes.
Parity,
Yep.
Petit,
Yes.
Roberts,
Yes.
Ronk,
Yes.
Ushitel,
Yes.
Walter,
Yes.
and Worrell.
Yes.
The resolution is adopted 23-0. Resolution 224, authorizing the county-wide replacement and upgrade of technology in and for the County of Ulster, New York at a maximum estimated cost of $785,668 and authorizing the issuance of $785,668 bonds of said county to pay the cost thereof. Archer,
Yes.
Bartels,
Yes.
Bruno,
Yes.
Cahill,
Yes.
Corcoran,
Yes.
Criswell,
Yes.
DeLon,
Yes.
Donaldson,
Yes.
Fabiano,
Yes.
Gaveras,
Yes.
Green,
Yes.
Haynes,
Yes.
Hepner,
Yes.
Litz,
Yes.
Lopez,
Yes.
Mayo,
Yes.
Parity,
Yes.
Petit,
Yes.
Roberts,
Yes.
Ronk,
Yes.
Ushitel,
Yes.
Walter,
Yes.
and Worrell.
Yes.
The resolution is adopted 23-0. Resolution 226, authorizing the replacement and upgrade of technology at the Sheriff's Office in and for the County of Ulster, New York at a maximum estimated cost of $185,056 and authorizing the issuance of $185,056 bond of said county to pay the cost thereof. Archer,
Yes.
Bartels,
Yes.
Bruno,
Yes.
Cahill,
Yes.
Corcoran,
Yes.
Criswell,
Yes.
DeLon,
Yes.
Donaldson,
Yes.
Fabiano,
Yes.
Gaveras,
Yes.
Green,
Yes.
Haynes,
Yes.
Hepner,
Yes.
Litz,
Yes.
Lopez,
Yes.
Mayo,
Yes.
Parity,
Yep.
Petite,
Yes.
Roberts,
Yes.
Ronk,
Yes.
Ushatel,
Yes.
Walter,
Yes.
and Waro.